It's a beautiful day on your Camino. Your head's in a great space. All of a sudden you think, I haven't seen any yellow arrows for a while. Yep, you've meandered off the trail. You're lost. What do? Stick around and we'll answer those questions and more. You actually are never lost. You just sometimes can't pinpoint the exact spot where you are. You know you're in Spain or France or Portugal, but how do you get back on the trail? In the wilderness environs, we follow a specific set of guidelines when we find ourselves lost. These guidelines are also applicable to the Camino. We use the acronym STOP, or STOP. The first letter, S, stands for stop. Stay put. Stay calm. Panic is your worst enemy. The next letter is T, which stands for think. Think about how you got here. Did you take a wrong turn? Did the trail split back there? What did you do to get to this place? Can you reverse the situation, backtrack, and maybe find the right way? So think about your situation, how you got here, and perhaps come up with a way to get back. The next letter is O for observe. First of all, you need to find your orientation. Where are you? What direction is where? If it's morning time and you see the sun over there, then that's going to be east. If it's afternoon, evening, and the sun's over there, then that's west. If it's midday, the sun should be overhead. But what if it's overcast? Well, look down, see if you can find a shadow. That's going to give you the orientation of where the sun is coming from. If there's no shadow, there's no sun, you can always look at the trees. Find one that has some moss on it, and that is usually going to be growing on the north side of the tree. So orient yourself. Find out what direction is which way. The last letter is P, and that stands for plan. Based upon your thinking and your observations, come up with some possible plans. Think them through and then act upon one of them. My husband Mark and I work ski patrol here in Northern California during the winter months. We often get a radio call about a lost skier who has inadvertently left the ski area boundaries and is lost. The procedures that we use to locate the lost individual is valid for any wilderness situation, be it Snowy Mountain, the backcountry wilderness, or the Camino between the villages. So let me explain the procedure to give you an idea from our side, the rescuers, what we do. Typically, the lost individual has phoned the ski lodge or a family member or a friend and have asked them to go get help. By the way, this is the best case scenario where the lost person has a phone. We'll talk later about what to do if you don't have a phone or if there is no signal. The most important thing to remember here is to keep the phone line open. Don't you hang up and don't let them hang up. Once I have the lost person on the phone, what I will begin doing next is try to get them to tell me where they thought they were going. Then I ask them to look straight ahead. It doesn't matter what direction they're facing. Describe what they see. Perhaps they see a frozen flat area indicating a lake. Next, I ask them to turn to the right and once again, describe what they see. Perhaps they see a tree that's split by burnt lightning or a cabin in the distance. Then another right turn. Now they're facing behind where they originally were looking. I have them describe that. And then another right turn, and describe again. So I've had them turn in a complete 360 circle and tell me what they see. We ski patrollers are pretty familiar with the area, and if we can get a couple of indications as to what they're seeing, we often can determine where they are. So that's what we do in the snow when a person has a phone. Now let's see how that fits into a scenario where you, as a pilgrim, wander off the trail and can't find any yellow arrows or other Camino markers. If you have the phone number of the place where you have a reservation that evening, call it. If you don't have a reservation, call any albergue or restaurant in that town. If none of these options are available, call the European emergency number, which is 112, and tell them your situation. When you do get someone on the phone and tell them you're lost, you now need to give them all the information you can think of about where you possibly are. What have you seen along the way? Any buildings? Any interesting rock formations? How about streams or rivers? The people on the phone live there. They probably have walked the very same spot where you find yourself right now numerous times. They can probably verbally give you directions to get yourself back on the trail, or they may just come and get you. Let's talk now about what to do if you don't have a phone, or you can't get a phone signal, or your phone battery goes dead. When you're walking a Camino, remember, you're not a tourist, you're a pilgrim. A tourist jumps into the river of people and is herded from one historical site to another in the company of those in the tourist jungle. As a pilgrim, you're a solo participant in a remarkable journey. You alone are responsible for your pathway, physically and mentally. It's important to get out of your head. Don't let the insignificant trivia of mindset take a hold of your thoughts. Be in the moment. Look at the trees. Look at the rocks. Look at the stream. Look at the forest. All the wonderful elements of the Camino. Enjoy everything, even that little bug that crawls across your path. In paying attention to your surroundings, you not only will enjoy the walk more, but you will be able to more quickly recognize when you deviate from the trail. Typically, when a trail splits, you'll have some sort of marker indicating which split or fork in the road to take. Additionally, about 20 or 30 feet down the split, there will be another marker to let you know that you took the proper path. So as a rule of thumb, when you take a split in the trail, even if the split was not marked, you should see a marker somewhere near. If you don't see one, go back to the split and check the other path. If you're ever unsure, go back and check before you get too far. If you do get lost and can't find any arrows or markers, but you remember a split way back there, before you turn around and walk back, place something at the side of the path to indicate where you turned around. This could be maybe a couple of rocks stacked on top of each other, or a tree branch propped up on a rock, something to let you know that you have been here. The reason for this is often when we backtrack and then try a different split or a possible route, we can easily circle around and end up in the same place without realizing we made the same mistake again. So this is going to let you know that, yep, you did it again. For the sake of this scenario, let's say you ended up in this same place again. You are lost. Let's use our stop algorithm and find out what to do. So, S, we stop, we sit down, we drink some water, and we calm down. Then, T, We think of where we might be, what we saw along the way, and any landmarks that we passed. O, we orient ourselves to east, west, north, and south. We know that from the point where we began this morning to our final destination is a west-southwest direction. So we know approximately what direction we should be walking. Then, letter P, plan your route out. If there's a trail, follow it, regardless of where it might go. It will take you somewhere. A trail of any kind is better than wandering off through the wilderness. If the trail has ended, try to find a water drainage crevice and follow it down. It will probably lead to a larger one, either wet or dry, which will eventually lead to a stream of some sort. Where the water goes, the towns and villages will be found. It's just the way it works. If it doesn't take you to a village, it will most likely take you to a road of some sort, which will eventually take you to a village or town. Here are a few more tips for following the signage. You'll see many types of arrows and signs displayed on the Camino, but the only official signs are the yellow arrow and the scallop shell. These are the most important ones and the most reliable signs that you need to watch for. If you come to a junction and you don't see any signage, go straight or stay on the main road or trail. Signs are typically placed only at junctions that could be confusing. If you see a yellow arrow with the name of an albergue or a restaurant bar, this arrow is directing you to their business, not the trail. So realize that. If you can think of any other tips for helping to find these signs, and I'm sure there are many more, please share them with us in the comment section below. I am really enjoying putting together these videos every week. I hope you're enjoying watching them as well. It's always gratifying learning new things, especially if you can share them with others. And oh my goodness, I'm learning a lot about video editing. I'm also enjoying the music projects at the end of each one. Aren't you, Bella? Yeah. So here's what I'm doing. Each week, I research the Galician folk tunes. I find one I like, I analyze and then transcribe it, and then arrange the work for 4 French horns. I print out the music, and Mark and I rehearse it. Then we record the music one voice at a time, beginning with the bass line and layering the voices. So horn 3, and then horn 2, and then horn 1. When we have all of it recorded, I then combine the video tracks in my computer and create the music video. The selection this week is a tune that I found performed on a concertina. Here's a couple of pictures of a concertina, so you can get an idea what that instrument looks like. The folk song is named Pajillera Gallega, which roughly translates to the Galician rookery. So, please enjoy.